I'm here falsely accused for a 21-year-old warrant. And I try to speak, and she acts like Judge Judy. She just constantly cuts you off, is threatening. And if you look at the TV show Judge Judy, this is how she acts, Judge. And I'm just being treated like I'm just a criminal. I'm supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, right? And I would like an investigation as to things that's been going on by the prosecutor's office, because Kim Worthy and her subordinates are retaliating against me. There's actual proof. But she has an attitude like Judge Judy. She just cuts you off. And I'm just like, so when she kept doing it, this is when I objected and asked her to recuse herself.
All right. Today's case features one of the most unusual sovereign citizen courtroom moments we've covered so far. This individual is back in court following a previous preliminary hearing with Judge Martin. During that session, things quickly went off the rails as he launched into the typical sovereign citizen arguments, ones we've seen many times before. He presented himself as the victim throughout the hearing and eventually requested that Judge Martin be removed from the case, claiming she was cutting him off unfairly. According to him, she wasn't giving him a fair chance to speak. It's a complicated situation to watch unfold, and some of the arguments are hard to follow. But this case raises real questions about how far someone can go in court before things begin to backfire. Let me know what you think in the comments. Does he make any valid points, or is he simply not helping his own case? Let's jump in and see how the hearing plays out.
Colonel Michael McQuarrie, appearing in appropriate persona.
All right. It's my understanding, sir, you filed a motion to have Judge Bryant disqualified from the case. Judge Bryant denied your motion, and essentially your motion was appealed up to the chief judge, which is me. Is that correct, sir?
That's correct.
Okay. Argument.
Well, the argument is, sir, under Michigan Code of Judicial Conduct, the judge is in violation of Canon 1 and 2 because I'm here falsely accused for a 21-year-old warrant. And I try to speak, and she acts like Judge Judy. She just constantly cuts you off, is threatening, so far as be quiet. Like, I mean, Canon 2, it says public confidence in the judiciary is eroded by irresponsible and improper conduct by judges. A judge must avoid all impropriety and appearance of impropriety. A judge must expect to be the subject of constant public scrutiny. A judge must therefore accept restrictions on conduct that might be viewed as burdensome by the ordinary citizen and should do so freely and willingly, Judge. And I come into court very respectful. I'm a 51-year-old man and I respect the system. But I'm feeling that I'm being given, disrespect. I'm being silenced. I mean, I have a right under the free speech to petition the court for redress of grievances and things of that nature. And if you look at the TV show Judge Judy, this is how she acts, Judge. Totally wrong. And she asked me, what did I want to do with the case? I said, I would like to challenge jurisdiction because I went to prison in '02 for 15 years and 8 months. They had under the rule, is, I believe, for misdemeanors 40-something days, for felonies is 6 months. So I request that the prosecutor prove its authority in bringing these charges so late. And I have been home 6.5 years, productive in the community, no problems, and I'm trying to do right, Judge. I made past mistakes when I was a young man, and I'm just being treated like I'm just a criminal. I'm supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, right? So I'm not trying to disrupt this court. I'm not trying to cause you guys hardships or anything, things of that nature. And my due process is being violated, Judge. That's all. I want to just get this case so it wouldn't be left alone. I'm a grandfather. I have children. And their DPD has retaliated against me, Judge. And I know this is a Detroit police court, and I would like an investigation as to things that's been going on by the prosecutor's office because Kim Worthy and her subordinates are retaliating against me. There's actual proof.
So here's the argument this defendant is making. He's essentially saying, look, the prosecutor is just doing their job, trying to send me back to prison. But I'm a grandfather. I have a family, can't we just let this go? It's clear he's trying to appeal to the court's compassion, but that's not how the legal system works. judges don't dismiss cases based on personal circumstances alone. Judge Martin, to her credit, is known for being fair and focused. She's not the type to hold someone's past against them, but at the same time, her job is to ensure the law is upheld, not to hand out exceptions based on emotional appeals. The system is built on evidence, not sympathy. And in this case, she's doing exactly what she's supposed to, keeping the focus on facts, not feelings. What do you think?
At this point,
is he trying to make a real point, or is this just
He's,
an attempt to gain leniency?
in this matter, and
Let's
another
head back
matter
into
so
the
far as
hearing and
investigations
see how
for,
it unfolds.
Years of, hardships and tyranny committed against me by the system here in Wayne County. So this is all I want: a fair shake judge, a judge who's going to give me due process and give me what I'm entitled to according to law. And that's it, sir.
Okay. Ms. Ritter, would you like to respond in any way?
Judge, the only response that people have is that this is a case from 2002. It's a misdemeanor assault and battery case. Judge, from my recollection of the prior hearing with Judge Bryant, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that it was an arraignment process. And as the court was trying to proceed with the process, I do remember Mr. McCreary interrupting the judge while she was trying to make the record. But the people have not gotten to the point where, because Mr. Carnell was disruptive during the proceedings, the people didn't get to the point where there was another pretrial date set where the people could actually see if we're able to move forward on this 2002 case, Judge.
May I have a rebuttal?
Yes.
Okay, Judge, I would like you, if it's possible, I know you guys are on Zoom, so you should have access to recordings of these hearings and things of that nature. I believe that the prosecutor just fabricated facts to you because I was not rude to this lady. All I asked her is, she said, what do you want to be done with this case? I said, I would like to challenge jurisdiction. And Michigan and federal law requires once jurisdiction is challenged, it must be proven. How is it that the prosecutor knows statute of limitations? They're licensed. I'm not licensed. I've studied for years in prison. And they don't know that there's a statute of limitations. This is vindictive prosecution because of my complaints against Kim Worthy, Your Honor. And the record will reflect the evidence. And I object to her statements.
All right. Court having had a chance to hear the arguments of the moving party, as well as the arguments of the prosecutor. The moving party is asking for a recusal or to have Judge Bryant disqualified based on Michigan Canons 1 and 2, based on that she is biased, as well as is not allowing a person to be able to basically argue their case. The moving party is stating that he wants to challenge jurisdiction and that he was not allowed to do so. The prosecutor is stating that there was only a proceeding at an arraignment and that the prosecution hasn't even got to the point where they have established whether they want to move forward with the case, but that was not allowed to happen because in their view, there was disruption in the court and there was a breakdown.
Here's what it sounds like happened. If this man had simply stayed quiet and let the judge proceed, she may have arraigned him and possibly even dismissed the case, especially considering how long ago it's happened. But instead, he chose to interrupt and challenge the court's authority. It's hard to understand what he thought he'd gain by doing that. The case is over 20 years old, and by all appearances, Judge Bryant was leaning toward letting it go. She's known for being fair and thoughtful in her decisions. Unfortunately, instead of cooperating, he tried to raise sovereignty-based arguments, claims that don't typically hold any legal weight. In doing so, he may have made things much more difficult for himself. It's moments like this that really leave you scratching your head. What was the strategy here? Let me know what you think in the comments. Was this just a misunderstanding? Or was he trying to make a point that backfired? Let's get back to the hearing and see how it all plays out.
The moving party is disputing that. He's saying that I could go to the video or the tapes to dispute that. At this time, the court is going to The court is not going to make a decision at this point. I am going to pull the tape, pull the transcript. I'm going to make a decision very quickly on this. I'm not going to let this continue. And even based on, the court does have an opinion probably on the likelihood of prosecution on a 21-year-old case. So we're going to come back on, we're going to come back on July 6th at 10 a.m. Please check your schedule, sir.
May I also, you say July 6th, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
May I also, if I may,
check your schedule first. Check your schedule to see are you available for that time.
I'm available. I'm stuck here on tether, sir. I'm available at any time you guys want me to.
Okay. All right. Well, put it on your schedule for 10 o'clock on July 6th.
Okay, can I say one more thing? If you look at Crampton versus Michigan Department of State 395, Michigan 347 at 351, it says the United States Supreme Court disqualified judges and decision makers without a showing of actual bias in situations where experience teaches that the probability of actual bias on the part of the judge or decision maker is too high to be constitutionally tolerable. And I'm not saying like trying to attack Judge Bryant or whatever else, but she has an attitude like Judge Judy. She just cuts you off. And I'm just like, so when she kept doing it, this is when I objected and asked her to recuse herself.
And sir, and again, as the chief judge, I don't have to have a showing of actual bias, but perceived bias, something in the fairness of justice. That is my stand.
I think the chief judge is going to give this situation some serious thought. Honestly, it shouldn't take long for this defendant to realize he may have made things worse for himself by interrupting the judge and refusing to cooperate. Instead of letting the process play out, where the judge may have even dismissed the case, he chose to challenge her in a way that completely backfired. He likely feels the judge was being unfair, but the truth is, he didn't even give her a chance to finish. That's the problem with these sovereign citizen arguments. They end up creating more complications than solutions. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see the full video of the court hearing with Judge Martinez. Probably upload it sometime this week. These cases are always unpredictable, and this one definitely stands out. Sovereign citizens often believe they're operating outside the legal system, but when reality sets in, it becomes clear that the law still applies to everyone. And when it all unravels, it's hard not to shake your head. Thanks so much for watching and supporting the channel. I truly appreciate all of you who tune in and share your thoughts. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.